He used to leap over docks and carry fishing nets like they were pillows. But last month, 72-year-old Orville Beckett had to grip both armrests just to stand from his favorite chair. His legs felt like jelly. He wasn't in pain, just weak. Slow. Powerless. And every day, it seemed to get a little worse. Then one afternoon, something strange happened. His neighbor handed him a glass of something deep red, almost purple. "Try this," she said. "It's not magic. It's minerals." He drank it. Didn't feel much at first. But by the next morning, he stood up, without help. No pushing, no leaning. Just a solid rise like he was 10 years younger. Even he couldn't explain it. Until his daughter found a study buried in a medical journal that confirmed exactly what he experienced. And no, this isn't about a pill or a workout. It's about one natural food, commonly forgotten in most kitchens, that starts working in as little as 12 hours. A food that opens up your blood vessels, floods your legs with oxygen, and helps your muscles fire again like they're supposed to. If you've been noticing your legs don't quite respond like they used to. If stairs feel longer, chairs feel deeper, and even walking your dog feels like a chore. This might be the single most important video you'll watch today. Because what worked for Orville might work for you, too. Stick around. The food, and the fix, are simpler than you think. Orville Beckett was never the kind of man who sat still. For over 30 years, he kept watch over the rocky coast of Maine from the top of the old Weller Point lighthouse. Every morning, rain or shine, he climbed 92 narrow steps to light the beacon, no elevator, no shortcuts. His legs, once thick as timber and twice as reliable, were his pride. People used to joke he could leg press a lobster boat if he had to. But time, as it does, crept in quietly. After retirement, the climb stopped. The long walks along the jetty turned into short strolls to the mailbox. Orville didn't notice the change at first. Just a bit more strain getting up from bed. A little wobble when stepping off a curb. He figured it was just age doing its thing. Then one day, something small, but deeply unsettling, happened. He dropped his coffee mug. It didn't shatter, but as he bent down to pick it up, he found himself pausing. Unsure if he'd be able to stand up again without pushing off the counter. It took effort. Not pain, just this strange, heavy resistance that hadn't been there before. That night, he sat on the porch and stared out at the lighthouse across the water. The stairs he once climbed with ease now looked like a cruel joke. And for the first time in his life, Orville Beckett felt fragile. He didn't like that feeling. Not one bit. So he did what he's always done in a storm, he searched for a light. He called his daughter, a nurse, and she told him about something unusual. Not a supplement. Not a surgery. A food. One single, natural food with a powerful effect on aging muscles and blood flow. Orville raised an eyebrow. A food? What's next? Magic beans. But she was serious. The food she recommended had been studied in clinical trials, showing rapid improvements in leg power, endurance, and circulation, especially for older adults. Skeptical but curious, he gave it a try. What happened next? Well, let's just say his doctor stopped mid-sentence during Orville's next checkup. Because it wasn't just that Orville felt better. He moved better. Steadier. Stronger. Like something had switched back on inside him. And the best part? No drastic lifestyle change. No gym memberships. No harsh medications. Just one food, eaten at the right time, in the right way. We're about to tell you exactly what it was, and how you can use it, too. But first, have you noticed your leg strength fading lately? Maybe you're gripping handrails more often, or taking extra time to stand up. Tell us in the comments, you're not alone, and your story matters. Most people think leg weakness is just part of getting older, something you have to accept like gray hair or reading glasses. But what if I told you it's not just about age? It's about what's silently slipping away inside your body. Long before you ever feel it. There's a condition called sarcopenia, and if you're over 60, there's a 1 in 3 chance it's already affecting you. Sarcopenia is the gradual, stealthy loss of muscle mass and strength. It doesn't show up all at once. It begins subtly, maybe you stop kneeling in the garden, or you catch yourself avoiding stairs. You tell yourself it's just stiffness or maybe a lazy day. But it's not. It's your body losing the very foundation that keeps you standing, walking, living. And it gets more serious than most realize. Leg muscles are the largest muscles in your body. When they weaken, everything changes. Balance goes. Reaction time slows. Even blood sugar control suffers. Most seniors don't notice this decline until something scary happens, a fall, a close call, or the moment you realize you're bracing yourself to rise from a toilet or a couch. That moment when you pause. Unsure if you'll make it up in one try. But here's what no one talks about: your legs aren't the problem. Yes, your thighs may feel weaker. Your knees may tremble more than they used to. But the issue doesn't begin in your legs. It often starts in your gut and your mitochondria, those tiny engines inside your cells that produce energy. As we age, our digestive system absorbs nutrients less efficiently. At the same time, our mitochondria begin to shut down, especially when starved of the right fuel. Without proper nourishment and oxygen delivery, your muscles run on fumes. And what's worse? Many common senior diets, low in protein, full of processed carbs, make the problem even worse. So your body doesn't get the nutrients it needs to rebuild or maintain muscle. You're not just aging. You're being underfueled. But here's where it gets interesting. The fastest, most effective way to start reversing this decline doesn't involve lifting weights or walking laps around the mall. That's the old school advice. Helpful, but slow. The real fix begins in your kitchen, with a single food that targets the root problem. A food that fuels your mitochondria, reactivates blood flow to dormant muscle tissue, and signals your body to start building strength again. And no, it's not something exotic or hard to find. Stick around, because what you eat in the next 12 hours could change how you move for the next 12 years. Imagine drinking a small glass of juice at lunch, and by dinner time, your legs feel stronger, more stable, and energized. No gym. No stretching. No medication. Just one natural compound unlocking something deep inside your body. This isn't wishful thinking, it's backed by hard science. In a groundbreaking study published in the Journal of Gerontology, researchers discovered something remarkable. Older adults who consumed a single meal high in dietary nitrates experienced measurable gains in muscle performance within just 12 hours. Not 12 weeks. Not 12 days. Just half a day. The study involved seniors aged 65 and older. Some were given a nitrate-rich drink, while others received a placebo. Within hours, those who had the real thing showed an 11% increase in leg strength and faster walking speed, without changing a single other aspect of their routine. Let that sink in. For someone like Orville Beckett, who had been losing leg strength year after year, a boost like that is life-changing. It's the difference between needing help to get out of a chair, or doing it with confidence. Between hesitating at the top of stairs, or stepping forward without fear. So what's behind this sudden power surge? The answer lies in nitrates, naturally occurring compounds found in certain vegetables. When consumed, your body converts them into nitric oxide, a molecule that dilates blood vessels and enhances circulation. Better blood flow means more oxygen and nutrients reach your muscles. And when your muscles get the fuel they need, they perform better, immediately. But not all foods are rich in usable nitrates. The champion in this category? Beets. More specifically, beetroot juice and steamed or roasted beets. They're loaded with the kind of dietary nitrates your body can quickly absorb and convert into performance-boosting nitric oxide. In fact, professional athletes have used beet juice for years to gain a legal edge in endurance and power. But the benefits may be even more dramatic for seniors, whose circulation and mitochondrial function often need a bigger boost. Orville didn't expect much when he took that first sip of beet juice. He thought it would taste like dirt, and to be fair, it kind of did. But hours later, something shifted. Rising from his recliner didn't feel like a chore. His knees didn't tremble. He even walked down his front steps without holding the railing. Was it a miracle? No. It was biology, fueled by one smart nutritional decision. Now, before you go gulping down beet smoothies, there are a few things to know about dosage, timing, and preparation, and we'll get into all that in the next chapter. But first, have you ever tried beet juice? Did it give you a boost, or just make your face scrunch up? Love it or hate it, tell us in the comments. Orville Beckett wasn't exactly eager when his daughter handed him that small glass of beet juice. Beets had never been his favorite, ever since childhood. The earthy taste and strange smell made him wrinkle his nose. Why would anyone want to drink this? He muttered, eyeing the deep crimson liquid like it might bite. But desperation has a way of opening minds. After years of feeling weaker, of dreading every step, Orville was willing to try almost anything. So, he took the cup, gulped it down with his lunch, and waited. The rest of the afternoon passed slowly. Orville didn't feel anything special. No sudden bursts of energy. No tingling legs. Just the familiar ache from his knees and the tiredness he'd grown used to. But the next morning, something unexpected happened. He stood up from his chair, without that usual groan of effort. No hands gripping the armrests. No hesitation. It was subtle but powerful, like rediscovering a muscle he thought had disappeared. Curious, Orville decided to test it further. By afternoon, he grabbed the leash and took his old hound, Jasper, for a walk around the block. No cane. No limp. Just steady, confident steps, something he hadn't done in months. This wasn't a miracle. It was science. What beet juice does is widen your blood vessels through the power of nitrates converting into nitric oxide. This widens the tiny channels that deliver oxygen and nutrients to your leg muscles, fast. The result? Your muscles wake up, fueled and ready. This effect isn't just a trick for athletes, it's a natural boost for aging bodies where circulation tends to slow down, leaving muscles starved and weak. But here's a critical point many miss: not all beet products are created equal. Orville's daughter warned him against buying just any beet juice from the store. Some brands are loaded with added sugars, preservatives, or diluted with water, cutting down their nitrate power. Others use concentrate or add fillers that actually reduce the benefits. Even worse? One popular version of beet juice shots might actually backfire by causing blood sugar spikes or digestive issues, things seniors should avoid. So, if you want to try this at home, you need to pick the right kind of beet juice or prepare beets in a way that preserves their nitrate content. But don't worry, we'll show you exactly how to do that in the next section. For now, think about this: what if a simple cup of beet juice could be the difference between struggling to stand and walking freely again? Would you give it a chance? Let us know if you've ever been surprised by a natural remedy in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else. When it comes to unlocking the remarkable leg strengthening power of beets, how you consume them is just as crucial as the beets themselves. Orville Beckett learned this firsthand, and it's the key to turning a simple root vegetable into a rapid muscle boost. Let's start with the best ways to enjoy beets for maximum benefit. Fresh steamed beets top the list. Steaming is gentle on the beets and preserves most of the valuable dietary nitrates, unlike boiling, which can leach nutrients into the water. The texture becomes tender but still retains that satisfying earthiness. Orville began adding several slices of steamed beets to his lunch plate, drizzled with a splash of olive oil and a sprinkle of sea salt. It was a flavor he grew to appreciate: subtle, smooth, and surprisingly comforting. If chewing isn't your thing, or if you're short on time, unsweetened beetroot juice is an excellent alternative. But here's a word of caution: many store-bought beet juices contain added sugars, preservatives, or even water, which dilute the nitrates and blunt their effectiveness. Always read the label carefully and opt for 100% pure, organic beetroot juice whenever possible. Orville's daughter found a local brand that promised no additives, and that made all the difference. Another convenient option is beet powder, a dried and ground form of beetroot that you can quickly mix into water, smoothies, or even soups. It's portable and shelf-stable, perfect for seniors on the go or those who dislike the taste of fresh beets. When Orville traveled, this powder kept his routine intact and his legs feeling energized, no matter where he was. Now, let's talk about what to avoid, because not all beet products help your muscles. In fact, some can work against you. Canned beets packed in sugar, vinegar, or salty brine might seem like an easy shortcut, but they are far from ideal. These preservatives and added sugars interfere with the natural nitrate content. Sugar spikes can be particularly harmful for seniors managing blood sugar or diabetes. Vinegar and salty brine can upset digestion or block nutrient absorption. For anyone serious about regaining leg strength, canned beets should be a rare treat, not a daily staple. Timing is another piece of the puzzle that's often overlooked. Your body's ability to absorb nitrates and convert them into nitric oxide, which widens blood vessels and increases muscle oxygenation, is optimized when you eat beets with a bit of healthy fat. Think olive oil, avocado, nuts, or seeds. This pairing not only improves absorption but also smooths the beet's earthy taste, making the experience more enjoyable. Orville found that drizzling his steamed beets with extra virgin olive oil helped unlock a richer flavor and noticeably enhanced his leg strength. The timing of your beet intake also influences the results. Experts recommend consuming beets or beet juice about 2 to 3 hours before physical activity when you want to feel that extra burst of strength or endurance, whether that's a walk, a garden session, or simply standing up and moving around without assistance. Orville made beet juice part of his lunchtime ritual so that by mid-afternoon, when he took his dog Jasper for a walk, his legs felt strong and steady. Here's a quick recap to make it easy. Best beet choices: fresh steamed beets, unsweetened beetroot juice, beet powder with no additives. Avoid canned beets in sugary or vinegary brine. Add a small amount of healthy fat like olive oil to boost nutrient absorption. When? Consume 2 to 3 hours before planned activity or movement. So now, we want to hear from you. Would you be willing to try this beet boost for 3 days straight? Or maybe you've already taken the plunge? What happened? Did you feel the difference? Your stories might help others find their own path to stronger legs and greater independence. Drop your experiences in the comments below. Whether you loved the taste or found it challenging, every insight counts. Remember, regaining leg strength isn't about complicated routines or expensive supplements. Sometimes, the simplest changes, like eating a humble beet the right way, can make all the difference. If you found this guide helpful, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. Beets are truly a powerhouse when it comes to boosting leg strength and improving circulation. But like any strong natural remedy, they aren't the perfect fit for everyone. Before you rush to add beet juice or steamed beets to your daily routine, it's important to understand who should be cautious, and why. First, if you suffer from low blood pressure, also called hypotension, you need to be careful. Beets naturally help lower blood pressure by relaxing and widening your blood vessels. For most people, this is a good thing, but if your blood pressure is already low, adding beets could push it down too far, leading to dizziness, lightheadedness, or fainting. That's why seniors with low blood pressure should always consult their doctor before starting beet supplements or large amounts of beet juice. Your healthcare provider can monitor your blood pressure and advise you on the right amount, or whether beets are safe for you at all. Next, there's a concern for those prone to kidney stones. Beets contain oxalates, naturally occurring compounds that in some people can contribute to the formation of kidney stones. If you have a history of oxalate-type kidney stones, it's best to moderate your beet intake or talk to your nephrologist or dietitian. That doesn't mean you must avoid beets entirely, just be mindful and possibly limit your portions to avoid excess oxalate buildup. Drinking plenty of water can also help flush your system. For the vast majority of seniors, however, the good news is that eating half a cup to 1 full cup of beets daily is generally safe and can be life-changing. It's a simple, natural way to boost muscle power, improve blood flow, and support overall leg function. Orville's story is proof that small changes can lead to big results. It's also worth noting that beets can sometimes cause harmless side effects like pink or red urine and stool, which can be surprising but are perfectly normal and nothing to worry about. So, while beets aren't a one-size-fits-all solution, with a little care and guidance, they can be a safe and effective addition to your wellness plan. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Orville didn't stop at beet juice. His follow-up routine shocked even his physical therapist, revealing another simple yet powerful habit that supercharged his recovery and leg strength. Stay tuned, because this next step might surprise you, and could be the key to maintaining your newfound strength long-term. Have you ever had to modify a new health routine because of concerns or side effects? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience could help someone else make the best choice for their health. After just a few days of drinking beet juice, Orville noticed his legs felt more awake. But it wasn't just the beets, it was what he did after the juice that truly supercharged the results. Here's what most people miss: food can fuel your muscles, but movement directs where that fuel goes. Orville stumbled upon this almost by accident. The morning after his 3rd day on beet juice, instead of heading straight to his recliner, he decided to try something his nephew once mentioned: a wall sit. No gym. No fancy equipment. Just Orville, the wall in his hallway, and 30 seconds of grit. He leaned back, slid down until his knees were at a right angle, and held the position. At first, his thighs burned. He nearly gave up at the 15-second mark. But he pushed through, breathing deep, thinking of the old lighthouse stairs he used to scale without a second thought. That single act, those 30 seconds, sparked a turning point. Why? Because nitrates from beets increase blood flow and oxygen to your muscles, but when you activate those muscles through a movement like a wall sit or gentle stair stepping, you're telling your body, send the energy here. It's like flipping a switch. Orville made it a routine. 1 cup of beet juice, followed by 30 seconds of movement, either a wall sit, stair stepping, or a short march in place. Simple. Repeatable. Powerful. Within a week, he wasn't just walking longer, he was walking steadier. No more hesitation getting up from the couch. No more reaching for the armrest like it was a lifeline. And most importantly, no more fear of falling. This wasn't about building bodybuilder legs. It was about reclaiming confidence. Reclaiming independence. That moment when you realize you can rise from a chair without thinking twice. It's not just physical. It's emotional. It's freedom. Orville didn't have a personal trainer or a home gym. He had a juice glass. And a decision. The decision to try, even after years of stiffness and decline. That's the message here, it's not too late. You don't need an hour-long workout. You don't need fancy gadgets. You need a willing heart, a nutrient-packed beat, and 30 seconds of courage. And if you've been thinking, that's too simple to work, ask yourself this: what if it is that simple? Would you try it? Let us know in the comments, what's your version of 30 seconds of courage today? Because the next chapter in your strength story might just start with a sip and a sit. 3 weeks. That's all it took for Orville Beckett, once slumped in his recliner, legs too shaky to trust, to lace up his old boots and walk up the winding trail to the lighthouse where he spent most of his working life. The same lighthouse stairs he once climbed daily during hurricanes and thick fog now stood like a mountain. But this time, he wasn't climbing them for duty. He was climbing them to prove something, to himself. Not every step was smooth. His knees groaned. His breath came faster than it used to. But he moved forward. One slow, steady step at a time. No cane. No panic. Just focus, grit, and a body that had started to listen again. When Orville reached the top, he didn't pump his fists or shout. He just smiled. A quiet kind of victory. The kind that comes when you've been stuck for so long, and suddenly, you feel capable again. That day wasn't just about a hike. It was about hope. Because Orville didn't find strength in a miracle cure. He found it in the small choices: beet juice, 30 seconds of movement, showing up every day. He didn't feel young. He felt awake. Present. Capable. For the first time in years, he wasn't shrinking from life, he was stepping into it. And here's the deeper truth behind Orville's story: strength isn't about age. It's about oxygen. It's about effort. It's about giving your body what it craves, and trusting that small changes can lead to massive transformations. You don't need to scale a lighthouse. You don't need to prove anything to anyone but yourself. But what if you could stand taller, walk steadier, and feel like you again, just by making one better choice today? So here's your moment: take a sip of something nourishing. Move for 30 seconds like you mean it. Believe that you're still in charge of your story. And if Orville's story stirred something in you, or reminded you of someone you love, please tap that like button and share this video with them. You never know who's waiting for the nudge that changes everything. Have a strength story of your own, or want to begin one? Share it in the comments. Let's fill this space with proof that aging doesn't mean fading, it means evolving. And for more surprising, science-backed ways to stay strong, sharp, and independent, subscribe right here to Better Aging Advice. Your next chapter? It starts with one simple step.